So let's just say that I've matched back this footage and this is my nice full resolution material. I want to send this project out of Avid into Davinci. And the way we do that is not through actually exporting any of this material. What we're going to do is we're going to export an AAF. And that AAF is going to reference this material, but encased inside of the AAF is more or less just the sequence. What we would do is we would find the sequence that we want to export. And in my case, it's this Davinci Resolve CC right here. And I'm just going to right click on that and I'm going to go to Output, Export to File. And then this familiar export box will pop up here. And usually this will say something like send to QT movie. But what we want to change that export setting to is all the way at the top of that list. You should see something called Avid Pro Tools LE Inbox AAF. I still need to adjust the settings on this preset to reflect what I need for Davinci. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Options right here, click on that box, and here are the AAF options for Avid Export. So we'll make sure Export As is set to AAF. And then down here, something very important is we need to make sure that AAF Edit Protocol is selected, which it may not be by default. So make sure that's selected right there. The next thing you would want to do is make sure that include all video data tracks in the sequence and include all audio tracks in the sequence are both selected. And then if you go to Video Data Details, right here, that tab, what you're going to want to make sure you're selected is Link to Don't Export Your Media. So again, the idea behind this is that we're just exporting the sequence details, not any media. If we wanted to, we could choose Copy All Media or Consolidate All Media, and that would move the media from this sequence into another folder. And that would be really handy if we were going to send this to Post House somewhere, you know, that needed our raw footage with it, because it would copy all that media that comes from the sequence and package it up in a nice little folder that you could then move on an external hard drive somewhere else. But for our purposes, since you guys are doing this on your own, you can just link to your media on your hard drives. And if we go to Audio Details, we want to make sure that's set to Link to Don't Export Media as well. After that, some things that I like to change on the Audio Details, I like to remove all of these check marks here, because that's not going to help us in any way. The only check mark I like to leave in the Audio Details is Remove Track Effects, because again, we're not using Davinci to mix our audio. We just have to send all this audio with it regardless. And then that's really it. So if I press Save, I can now choose an export location for this AAF. And I'm just going to put mine on the desktop for right now, but you would ideally put it somewhere on your hard drive. So I'll press Save again, and it's going to save that AAF. And once it's saved that AAF, you'll see right here that a new sequence is generated from that export, and it'll say exported on the end of it. So go ahead and close down Avid. And open up Davinci Resolve. If you can't find Davinci, it is under the C drive, Program Files, Blackmagic Design, Davinci Resolve, and then you should see a little icon right here. It says Resolve, and that's it. Alright, so once you're in Davinci, I'm going to go to File, Import AAF, and then go ahead and navigate to wherever you dropped that AAF at. You can see there's mine right there. And I'm going to press Open. And then you should get the Load AAF dialog box right here. Some important things that we need to make sure of right now. Well, I've got automatically set project settings and automatically import source clips into media pool selected here. and if I press OK, it's going to look for these clips. Now mine says 20 of 20 clips were not yet found. Do you want to select another folder to search? And I select yes. And now I'm going to navigate to my raw footage. And you can see it automatically found all my raw footage. So what you're going to see here when you open up that box, or when you open up the AAF and you import it, is this log window. This log window is going to show you what was successful on the import and what was not. Anything that's yellow, there was an issue with it. So you can see right here, in my circumstance, it did not find the audio files that were from my original Avid sequence, which I don't really care about at all because I'm not going to be using the audio here. I'm just going to be using the video. So that's just there to tell you exactly what went right and what went wrong with the AAF import. But generally, if you have all of your raw footage in and everything is in the right order and looks right, then you're in good shape. Okay, so once you got your sequence in and it looks like this, you would then proceed with color correction.